Good evening and welcome to another edition of In Focus. I'm your host, Josh Krupp. Tonight, a very special guest. He will be joining us to tell us about his internship that he had at the Sundance Film Festival. Join us as we talk to freshman cinema major Daymon Long, coming up next on In Focus. Again, welcome to In Focus. I'm Josh Krupp, joined by freshman cinema major student Daymon Long. Daymon, thank you so much for joining us today on In Focus.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, who is Daymon Long? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Who is Daymon Long? Well, I'm a freshman cinema major. I'm from Lebanon, Pennsylvania. I aspire to be a director, producer, and screenwriter. And I think I'm much deeper than that. But as far as cinema goes, that's where I am.
Much deeper than that. So tell us a little bit about how you chose Point Park's cinema program over the other schools you were looking at.
Well, when I was a high school senior, I don't think I knew a whole lot about cinema programs or the area, but I visited Point Park when I was a junior in high school, and I really loved it then. So I'd been pretty much set on Point Park since I was a junior in high school.
Are you happy with your decision? Do you like the cinema program?
I really like the cinema program. I do believe the school leaves some to be desired, though.
So let's change directions here a little bit. You just had possibly one of the most incredible experiences, one that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Tell us about your internship at one of the most prestigious film festivals in the country.
Yeah, so I got an internship at the Sundance International Independent Film Festival, and I went through this group called the Creative Mind Group. I first heard about internships at film festivals through one senior, Manny Brown, who told me about another senior, Garrett Kennel, who went to Cannes Film Festival, biggest in the world. And that night I looked up internships at Cannes. Well, Cannes is much farther away, South France, much more expensive, and much more competitive to get into. So I was a little deterred, but then I saw other ones, and I saw Sundance International Independent Film Festival. It's only in Park City, Utah. It was closer in time, and it was cheaper. So I applied, I got in, and then I talked to another senior, Lex Truss, who had gone to the Toronto International Film Festival, and he explained to me more about this group, interning and stuff, and I was totally sold on it. It was awesome.
So tell us a little bit about what Park City, Utah is. And it's not a city that most people may have heard of in the past.
Yeah, I mean, Park City really is only a prominent area during this time. I mean, it's a good ski area other times, but everyone is there. It is packed, it is busy. You have to wait an hour to get dinner anywhere. But yeah, it's 45 minutes outside of Salt Lake City, and Sundance is its main attraction.
Now, tell us a little bit about its main attraction, Sundance.
Sundance is a film festival. It's entirely for independent films, so they're not from big studios like Paramount and Miramax or anything like that. So potentially, like any person could submit a film to Sundance. And oftentimes at Sundance, those big companies like Paramount, Miramax, Universal are looking to buy some of these films there and then distribute them and market them. So just being there in that area helped my industry awareness and just expand greatly.
I know one of my favorite films, Napoleon Dynamite, was picked up at Sundance at one time.
Yeah.
So you went out to this giant film festival and it couldn't have been free. Tell us a little bit about how you funded this.
Well, I did not, when I got accepted, I did not have the money to go at all. So I was very scared that I wouldn't be able to go. But I instantly, like the morning I got accepted, I started a GoFundMe campaign where I raised over $800 of my total fee, which was $2,700 total. And then in addition to the $800 I raised online, I received tons of checks, in-person donations, and I only paid about $700 out of pocket. So I'm really, really thankful for every person who donated to me and helped promote me to get me to Sundance.
And you said you had to get accepted. What was the application process like?
The application process, I had to submit a resume, pieces of work, both writing and video work. I had to make an introduction video of myself, answer some short answer questions to reveal more about my personality, and just some more general information, but yeah.
And it's obvious that they liked you out there, and apparently they liked a couple other Point Park students. Talk about the other Point Park students that went with you.
Yeah, it was myself, Dave Randolph, Justin Illig, those two are both freshmen, and then two seniors who are actors, Neiman and Aaron Outland. They're both twins.
What did you guys all have to do to prepare before you went out to this trip?
To prepare, I mean, I don't know much about Neiman and Aaron because they kind of did their stuff separate, but I know Dave, Justin, and I all had to arrange flight tickets and taxi rides to and from Park City. Yeah, and our living arrangements and stuff.
Now, the whole time you were out there, you had your camera and you documented the entire trip. Right now on In Focus, we're going to take a look at Daymon's short little video blog that he made while he was out in Sundance. Check it out right now on In Focus.
Check it out.
We have touchdown in Salt Lake City. Onwards to Park City for our next adventure. So beautiful. I could move too. Justin, what are your goals in this week period?
My goal, make and edit a good short film and maybe meet a lot of famous people and enjoy myself. Nice.
In all honesty, I mean, it would be cool to meet her, but I really just want to try to meet and network as many people as I can and just, create so many connections, like, as many as I can.
My only goal is to take selfies with celebrities. That's it.
It's pretty noble.
Thank you. There's an eHow page on how to find celebrities at Sundance. I'm baffled. If you haven't realized yet, we're in Park City, Utah for the Sundance International Film Festival. Look at our wonderful home. Woo! We have our own hot tub?
I'm down to the clown. We have our own hot tub at the ski lodge. Woo! Oh my god.
They hooked us up on the food. I'm not taking bunk beds. Nope. Not for me. Over here we have Justin's room. You got the master bedroom, lucky duck.
You only got that because I called the other room.
Oh well, maybe you shouldn't have been so dumb.
Justin, you have like a walk-in closet? Oh.
Dude, patience counts.
Dave's room. Mine's in the basement. I've been here for 5 minutes, and I already want to live here. I feel bad for the last guys who get there.
Yes.
This is their room.
Because,
No windows. Nothing.
Oh, that'd be great. It seems very plausible.
This is really this, like the big ass, big formal shit, and this is like kind of.
Just take 5 guys. I don't need any food. I mean, I'll go into the best place. Just walk in there. Hey guys, what's going on? The virtuality stuff.
They seem to be working.
Can we go look inside?
I don't think we can.
Where?
So much to do, so much to see.
Putting up the
I
cedar.
don't know how to spend my time.
You could spend $25 on a Sundance baseball cap if you so desire.
Of course.
Some familiar faces, a lot of new faces. Not everyone is here at the moment. Some people are straggling in, some people are getting input.
I don't know. Walking along the road, we got off on the wrong bus stop. It's cold, very cold, but beautiful stars. Yes.
We got a lot of yellow, we got a lot of sky blue.
This is the Tim Horton Lounge. This is where I'm kind of working. It should be interesting.
That part, I think still needs solving, but that's not what the go is created to do. I understand that, but we can't.
And Kevin Smith and Lisa Kudrow, guys, thanks for coming.
Yay!
And Scott and David, I understand you guys played a couple in the film. Tell us how your characters sort of fit into the story.
Well, I fell in love with David as soon as I laid eyes on him. How can you not?
I worked 12 hours yesterday. I slept for 5 hours. And now I'm working 8 more hours. Today's a rough day that only coffee will get me through. I've been way too scared to ask any celebrity for a picture. But I gotta get one. By the way, it's 2 in the morning, but 4 in the morning back home.
Oh, that's your trail from
And the director's an integral part of that. Because as somebody who hasn't lived here for as long, or
I'm not ready to go home. I don't think I'll ever be ready to go home. It's awesome here. I'm sick. I don't feel good. Sundance is almost over. And I have orange juice. That is all.
Welcome back, and Daymon, wow, that looked like an incredible trip. If you could describe it in just 1 or 2 words, how would you describe your trip?
Life-changing.
Life-changing.
Yes, sir.
What was probably the most, the best thing that you learned out there that changed your life the most?
I wouldn't say I learned this, but just being there in general was very motivating because you see people who were in your position at one point, like film school students who they just went out, they made a film, they submitted it, it got there. So just being there makes you want to hone your craft a lot more. And yeah, it was just really motivated me to do better here at Point Park and then also on my independent projects.
And you want to really fine-tune your own craft. What is your own craft?
I mean, I think I'm a good director for a freshman, but I'm open to doing any part of cinema because I am only a freshman and I want to see where I'm most naturally inclined towards being great at.
Well, let's talk a little bit about a couple things that we saw in the documentary. I saw a selfie there with Spike Lee. Talk about how you said at the beginning your goal was to take selfies with celebrities, and Spike Lee was the first one we saw. How did that come about?
Spike Lee was the only celebrity I took a selfie with. When I said that at the beginning, I was joking, but yeah, I really wanted to meet him because I admire him. He's probably in my top 5 favorite directors. He was doing a panel for an upcoming movie he's directing, which he funded on Indiegogo. And I caught the end of the panel, and then he was leaving, and I was about to talk to him, and I got real scared. I froze up. And this happened multiple times. I froze up when I tried to talk to Kid Cudi too. He got away. But Spike Lee, he went up the stairs. I was like, I gotta get him. I gotta get Spike Lee. So I ran up the stairs. Spike was just standing there, like, just chilling. I went up to Spike. I said, "Hey, Spike, can we get a picture real quick?" And he was like, "Eh." So as you can see by the picture, he wasn't the most enthralled, but I think that's just his personality. He's not too talkative, not too. I don't know how to put it, but I mean, it was still really cool to meet him. Someone whose movies I admire a lot.
You'll definitely get him talking if you have him on the court side at a New York Knicks game, for sure.
I hope so.
So you had a really interesting experience out there, too, that you didn't see coming. You reconnected with one of your best friends from 9th grade. How did that happen, and what was going through your mind whenever that was all going down?
So when I first got accepted into the internship, I remember seeing on Facebook that he was going to the University of Utah in Salt Lake. I believe that's in Salt Lake. And when I first got accepted, I texted him and just saying, "How you doing?" I asked if he was still going to the University of Utah, and he was like, "Oh, yeah." And I said, "Well, I might be out there in a couple months. So if I'm out there, we should totally hang out." And we were like, yeah, sure. But it wasn't until I was actually out there that I was like, "Hey, I got some free time. Do you want to come down?" Yeah. And him and another friend who he made out there drove into Park City, and we hung out for a couple hours. And this was surreal for me because I hadn't seen this guy since that other time I was a freshman. So it was cool to see old friends again.
That's really incredible. And earlier you said that Spike Lee was a part of a panel. We saw a couple other panels in there. Talk about the different panels that you saw there and what you took away from them.
Oh, okay. There was one with Eli Roth and Keanu Reeves, and they talked a lot about their movie, whose name I can't recall right now. But I do know that Eli Roth is a pretty established director. I mean, he did Hostel, Hostel 2, some other horror movies that I can't think of. But he mentioned that his movie almost didn't happen because of not enough funding. So it just goes to show that just because you're a big Hollywood director doesn't mean that everything's not gonna fall through for you. I saw the cast of Boyhood, a movie that was just out not too long ago. A lot of critical acclaim. I haven't seen Boyhood, but it was still interesting to hear them speak about a movie that was shot over 12 years. And I saw a ton more, but another notable one was some composers who worked a lot doing the score for movies. and I thought this was really interesting. They talked a lot about their relationship with the director and their style of how they do the scores to movies, and I just thought this was wonderful, especially like wanting to be a director and knowing how to approach someone better about scoring a movie.
And there's some things like that that you wouldn't think of whenever you're planning a movie. Things
Yeah.
like making the score.
Like, I'm sure right now, without that, I think I would have just thrown in whatever background music, but when you hear them talk about it, you realize more, if you didn't already realize, that the music is very important to the overall feel of the movie and the action movie, especially in horror movies. Horror movies without music aren't as scary. So you just realize how important it is.
What's maybe something that we didn't see in the documentary that you'd like to share with us that happened out there that you didn't get to capture on camera?
There's a couple of interesting stories. One of my favorite stories is that the Huffington Post. Are you familiar with them? Yeah. They were doing a live stream out there, and their director, producer, and host all had nowhere to stay this one night because their flight to New York got canceled because of the snowstorms, and the Huffington Post would not put them up in a hotel for another night. So I was doing camera operation for them that day, and me and another intern who stayed at the same house as me, we both told them, hey, if you don't have anywhere to stay, you can crash on our couch. And we didn't expect them to like take us up on this offer. We're just a couple interns, but a couple hours later, they knock on our door, and there they are. They slept on our couch that night.
That's crazy that happened. You said you ran camera for them. What else did you do as part of your internship duties out there?
So I worked in 3 different lounges. I was in the Indiegogo lounge, which was all these panels of of all the movies. I worked in the Huffington lounge, which was the Huffington team interviewing more movies, but with them I actually did camera operating, whereas with Indiegogo I did more of just watching the panels. And then I worked in the Canon lounge where they had all the newest Canon equipment, but I mostly just did event setup and tear down. But in between I also got to test out some of Canon's newest equipment, and may I say it's incredible. And I was very scared to touch it and break it.
Is there anything that Canon had out there that was kind of on the DL that they don't want getting out there that you got to see, or was it all out there?
I don't think any of it's on the DL. I think it just hasn't come out to the public yet. There was lots of rigs, cameras, lenses that I hadn't seen for sale yet, but were upwards of $70,000.
Wow.
So yeah.
I mean, you must have felt like a kid in the candy store seeing all this great stuff.
Yeah, I was so amazed and I wanted all of it, but I'd have to drop out of college to be able to afford those things.
Did you come away with any souvenirs from Sundance?
Yeah, I have a t-shirt, a free hat, and plenty of memories.
Plenty of memories. That's always great. Is there a chance for you in the future to make more memories and go back again? You're only a freshman in your second semester.
I think there's always a chance. I have a good relationship with the internship group, the Creative Mind group. But the Creative Mind group also does 4 other film festival internships, and they're looking to do more. So I hope that my junior year that I can go to Cannes, the biggest film festival. But if I am ever to return to Sundance, I hope that I'm on the other side of the barricade and premiering a film there.
And we look forward to it. I'm sure that you'll get there someday. Are there other goals that you have here at Point Park, and what are your goals long-term, say 10, 20 years from now?
At Point Park, I'd say I just want to dedicate myself in all my film classes and make good pieces of work that can hopefully get into smaller film festivals, do well there, and be encouragements. Down the line, I wish to maybe own my own production company, but I think I would have to go through some other production companies, working for them first, or doing the independent route, whatever. I'm not totally sure what I want to do yet, but I know I just want to pursue it in film because I have such a passion for it, and it allows me to be creative for the rest of my life.
And that passion's really evident. Daymon, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure thing.
It's the experience of a lifetime.
You bet.
Join us next time to listen to another aspiring film director talk about their film and hear about their experiences of a lifetime. Thanks for joining us on In Focus today. I'm Josh Krupp. This is Daymon Long. Thanks, and have a great evening.